Put your Pilates ball under your cervical spine. Lift your hips and lengthen your tailbone so there is a sense of traction in your spine. Relax your shoulders. Feel free to put your fingers towards the edges of the ball and then crash the ball all the way down and turn your nose right and left. You move a little faster when we hydrate and then we start to slow down. Keep the pressure on the ball. And as you're starting to move, notice the right side and notice the left side. And then visualize how you also hydrating down your spine and you're resetting your spine. So once in a while, you might feel a little pull. Wiggle your hips on the floor. Lift your chin up, extension, and then flexion, chin to your chest. Lift your chin up, chin to your chest. One more time, lift your chin up, and chin to your chest. Very nice. Lift the ball out of your way. Take a moment, notice how you feel. And now take the ball to your right hand. Extend your left leg out, flex your left foot. Inhale, lift your right arm, lift your right shoulder, lift your head. Keep your right knee to the right. Take your right hand over to the left. Lift your ribs up, 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 round your spine. And then slowly grace your heart, come back center. Inhale. Drop everything to the right. Drop your right knee, drop your left foot to the right, lift your left hand, and now reach all the way to the right. Lift your rib cage up. Hollow your belly. Take the ball with you. Come all the way up. Bend your left leg, extend your right leg out. Keep your left knee towards the left. Inhale, lift your left arm. Lift your shoulder, lift your head, reach over to the right. Lift your ribs up. Hollow your belly. Notice where you feel, that's where you're breathing. And then slowly come all the way back. Inhale. Drop your left knee and drop your right foot to the left. Lift your right palm up. Travel over to the left. Lift your ribs above your arms. Hollow your belly. Round your spine to the back wall. Press your bottom glute to the floor. Take the ball with you. Come all the way up. Good. All right. Take the ball between your knees. Open your arms out in a T. Ground your sacrum, lift your feet and spread your toes. Inhale. And then on the exhale, travel over to the right as you lengthen your hips, as if someone is pulling your hips away from your ribs. Tap the floor. Breathe into that spine. Make your spine super long. Use your core, come back home. Inhale. Exhale, belly in, travel to the left. Lengthen those hips away from your ribs. Keep breathing. Ooh. Try to ground your shoulders as best as you can. Hollow your belly. Tap the knee down to the floor and enjoy the long stretch. And I use your core to lift up your legs all the way back. Good. Take a little rest. Shake your hips side to side. Good. Lift your feet off the floor. Ground your sacrum down to the floor. Spread your toes. Inhale. On the exhale, belly in. Travel to the right. Slow now. Lengthen your hip and find the edge. You're not tapping the floor. You're finding the edge of that cliff where your core has to work really hard. Now gaze towards the ceiling. Squeeze the ball. Lengthen your hips. Lift your left arm off the floor. Plug the arm into the socket. Squeeze that ball. Lift your right shoulder off the floor. You might fall. So find your deep core. Find your deep core. I want you to shake. Don't go where it's easy. Plug the arm that's a part of your core. Squeeze your pelvic floor. Breathe here for 3. Breathe here for 2. Breathe here for 1. Deep core, come all the way back. Release your legs, take a little rest. Inhale. Lift your feet off the floor. Spread your toes, sacrum down to the floor. You already know how important the engagement of your arms. Spread your toes, exhale, belly in, travel to the left, slow. Lengthen those hips. Feel the length in your spine, no compression. Now find that edge of the cliff, you're gazing up to the ceiling, and now press that ball. Keep breathing. Lift your right arm slightly off the floor. Float it. Plug it in. Here comes your test. Lift your left shoulder off the floor. Keep breathing. Lengthen your hips. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Use your deep core. Come all the way up. Slowly release it and let it go. Oh, drop your hips side to side. Good. Take the ball in your right hand and now lift your right leg like you have a little super glue that you're pulling off the floor. Take the ball right in front of your thigh. Take your right hand to the ball and now resist your leg to your ball. Take your left hand behind your head and elbow in. Chin is gazing up to the ceiling. Now remember, you pressing your head to your hand, not your hand to your head. So inhale, sacrum down to the floor. Lift your shoulders off the floor. Lift your chin up. Resist your right leg to your ball. Breathe in here, sacrum on the floor. Lift your left foot and extend it. Now you don't want to be too low where you're arching your back. Lift it up like you have a sandbag. Press the leg to the ball. Left leg extends off the floor. Breathe here for 4. Breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Lower your left leg. Lower your right leg. Take your left hand to the ball on the right side. Keep the ball where it is. Take your right fingertips behind your head. Lift your right leg like you have super glue under your leg. Inhale. Exhale, lift your shoulders off the floor. Elbow is in. Sacrum on the floor, extend your left leg. Keep breathing here. Now grab the ball and take it over to the right. Use your oblique muscles. Breathe in here, lift your chin. And now lift your left leg up and lower it down. Lift your leg up, lower it down. Lift your leg up and lower it down. Lift your chest a little higher. Lift your chin a little higher for 3 and 2 and 1. Slowly come back home and rest. Drop your knees right and left. This time the ball goes over your left thigh. Lift your left leg like you have super glue. Resist the leg to the ball. Right hand behind your head. Elbow is in. Lift your chin. Press your sacrum down to the floor. Lift your chest off the floor. Lift your chin off the floor. And now press your head to your hand. Keep breathing here. Lift your right leg, extend it out. Lift one more vertebra off the floor. Press your sacrum down. 4, 3. Breathe 2 and 1. Slowly lower your legs and lower your head. Take the ball, your right hand over the ball on the left side, your left hand behind your head. Elbow in. Press your sacrum down. Now lift your left leg like you have super glue under your leg. Inhale. Lift your chest off the floor. Elbow is in. Lift your chin up. Press your sacrum down. Extend your right leg. Quad muscles are active. Lift your chin. Take your right hand with the ball to the left. Breathe here. Lift one more vertebra. Lift your chin. Lift your right leg up. Drop it down with control. Doesn't have to be too low. Lift it up with your sandbag. Lower down. Lift it up. And lower down. Lift one more vertebra off the floor for 3. Breathe 2, 1. Release it and rest. Whoa. Drop your knees right and left. Okay, take the ball under your sacrum. Wiggle your hips a little bit, and now lift your left leg off the floor. Find your imaginary sandbag. Lift your right palm. Plug the arm into the socket. Lift your right leg and keep your knees and feet together. Spread your toes. Lift your left arm as if you're holding a block. Press the ball with your sacrum. Maybe you close your eyes and you're trying to stay steady. Imagine you're on a rope and the rope is steady. Keep breathing. Plug the arms in. Move your knees slightly forward, just a little bit. Pelvic floor in and out. With your next breath, super duper slow, your right arm goes over your head. Plug the arm in, close your eyes if you can. Extend your left leg out through molasses. Engage your core, engage your quads. Plug the arms in. Press your sacrum. Do not go towards your tailbone. Lift your tailbone off the ball for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring your palms and your legs together. Inhale. Take your left arm over your head. Close your eyes if you can. Plug the arm in. Move your right leg forward. Breathe here. Depress the shoulders. Press your sacrum, not your tailbone. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come up. Drop your palms down and drop your legs down. Shake it off. Good. Move your ball out of your hips. Take the ball between your knees. Press your palms down to the floor. Press your feet down to the floor. Inhale. And now exhale, lift your tailbone and lift your sacrum and then lift your low back. Press your feet evenly. Engage your lower glutes, where your glutes meet your hamstrings. Breathe in here. Press your toes down. Widen your collarbone. And now lift 1 inch and lower 1 inch. Notice what you feel. Lift 1 inch and hold. Lower. Lift and hold. Lower. Lift and hold. Engage your lower glutes. Stay here and now marinate all the way down to your bones. Your low back is quiet. If you feel it, you're not engaging your glutes enough. Now stay where you are, same height, just squeeze the ball in. Notice what you feel and release a little. Squeeze it in and release. Squeeze it in and release. Squeeze it in, hold and release. One more. Squeeze it and hold. Hold it here. Now, you have a triangle between your inner groin and your pubic bone. Lift that triangle up a little higher. Engage your lower glutes. Breathe here for 4. Press your toes down for 3, 2, 1. Lengthen your tailbone, lower everything down incrementally. Drop your hips right and left. Good. Now, come up and grab your weights. Option to cross your weights if you want 2 weights. Otherwise, you're just using 1. And the movement will be going into a bicep. Your elbow stays in. And then the other one will be right, the weights go to your left shoulder, but you're lifting your elbow up. So you're pushing up, okay? 1 weight or 2 weights, you decide. Come down to the floor. Weight in your right hand. Keep your sacrum down and your front lower ribs down. Now, hug muscle to bone. You could do this with no weights because you're using your own strength. Inhale. Plug the arm in, pelvic floor in and up. Bicep, bend the elbow. Keep your elbow in. Lift your elbow up. And then push it up. Going down for a count of 3, 2, 1. Push it for 1. Notice your right hip and left hip, right and left shoulder. Bend for 3 and 2 and 1. Push for 1. 3, 2, 1. Push for 1. And now we do the opposite. Bend for 1, lift for 3, and 2, and 1. Notice the difference. Bend for 3, and 2, and 1. Push for 1. Bend for 3, 2, and 1. Push for 1. Bend for 3, 2, 1. Bend for 1. Good. Inhale. Exhale, going to the left shoulder. You're going to lift the right elbow to the sky. Bend for 1. Tap. Lift for 3, 2, 1. Bend for 1 to your left shoulder. Depress the shoulders. Push for 3, 2, and 1. Bend for 1. Pull. Use your strength. Depress the shoulders. Lift for 3, 2, 1. One more. Bend, bend, hold. Notice your hips and your shoulders. Push for 3, 2, and 1. Change it up. Going down for 3, and 2, and 1. Push for 1. 3, 2, 1. Push for 1. 2 more. Bend, bend, bend and hold. Depress the shoulders. Push for 1. One more. 3, 2, 1. Bend for 1. Okay, last one. Inhale, turn your palm forward. Cactus your arm. External rotation, take your forearm back. Keep your wrist straight. And then lift it up and push it all the way up over your heart. Inhale, cactus your arm. Push with control. External rotation, take your forearm behind you. Breathe here. Push it up to cactus. Push it over your heart. Inhale. Exhale, cactus. Keep your hips even. External rotation. Push it up, cactus. All the way up. Last one, cactus your arm. External rotation. Breathe, muscle to bone here. Lift it up to cactus and over your heart. Very nice. Take the weights to the other hand. Your opposite hand can stay right in front of your low rib to remind you to stay grounded. Okay, turn your palm towards you. Bend for 1, elbow in. Push 3, 2, and 1 using your biceps. Bend for 1. Lift 3, and 2, and 1. Bend for 1, hold. Push 3, 2, 1. Bend for 1 and hold. 3, 2, 1. Bend for 1 and hold. Notice where else you feel this. Push 3, 2, 1. Change it up now. We're going down for 3, for 2. Your elbow is in. Hold. Push for 1. Bend for 3. Bend for 2. Bend for 1. Push for 1. Bend for 3, and 2, and 1. Bend for 1. Last one. Bend for 3, and 2, and 1. Push for 1. Good job. Now we're taking it to the right shoulder. Make sure to depress the shoulders. Your shoulders want to come up. So bend for 1. Push to the right shoulder. Keep your hips and shoulders even. Jackknife lift. 3, 2, and 1. Notice what you feel every step of the way. Bend for 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Bend for 1 and hold. 3, 2, 1. Use your own strength. Don't depend on the weight. Use your own strength. Bend for 1 and hold. 3, 2, and 1. Now we change it up. Bend it for 3. Bend it for 2. Bend it for 1 and hold with the elbow. Push for 1. Bend for 3 and hold. Bend for 2 and hold. Bend for 1 and hold. Push for 1. Bend for 3 and hold. Bend for 2 and hold. Bend for 1 and hold. Push for 1. Bend for 3 and hold. 2, 1. Hold it. Muscles. Depress the shoulders. Push for 1. Okay, last one. Here we go. 3 and hold. 2. Hug those muscles. And 1. Hold it. Push for 1. Okay, last set. Turn your palm forward. Cactus your arm. Hover. External rotation. Turn your forearm behind you. Don't touch the floor. Lift it up to cactus. Push it over your heart. Cactus your arm with control. Keep your hips on the floor. Keep your shoulders on the floor. External rotation. Take your forearm behind you. Keep your wrist neutral. Ooh. Cactus your arm and push your arm over your heart. Now, when you're doing your cactus, make sure that your elbow is aligned with your shoulder and not coming lower than your shoulder. So there's a straight line between your shoulder and your elbow and your wrist. Inhale, cactus your arm. Look at your left elbow, look at your left wrist. Now take it behind you. Keep that same movement. Lift your forearm up and push it over your heart. One side will be a little weaker. Shine your light and hug those muscles. That's why we do this. Last one, inhale. Bend your elbow, cactus your arm. Look at it. 90 degrees, hover. Take it over your head. Ooh, breathe in there. Push it up and over your heart. Very nice. Come all the way down. All the way up, the other down. Good. Shoulder rolls. Come over to the left side of your body. You can take the ball right under your ribs or wherever feels good for support here. And now you can take one weight or two. That's up to you. We're going to go into the triceps. Lift your chest up and then push behind you. Front lower ribs want to flare, keep them down like you're doing a little crunch. Widen your collarbone and lift your left shoulder off your ear. And then bend it in. Push it out. Squeeze towards the midline. Widen your collarbone. Lift your chest up. Bend the elbow. Good. Inhale. Exhale, push. Front lower ribs in. Hug muscle to bone for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Okay, one more. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, take it up and over behind you. Sink down like a sponge into your bone, then hug all of those fibers. Now, stay here, little pause, take it back a little and come back an inch. Back an inch and in. And 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back in and rest. Okay, let's take it to the other side. Lift your chest up, take the ball down until you feel supported. Widen your collarbone. Find your weight, glutes are active. And now take it behind you. Widen your collarbone. Bring your left chest forward. Don't let it sway back. Bring it forward as your tricep is working. Glutes active, frontal ribs are down. Lift your right shoulder off your ear. And bend. Extend it. Breathe here. Notice that this side might be different. Bend. Breathe into the different. Pull it behind you. Way behind you. For 3. Stack your shoulders for 2. 1. Bring it in. Inhale. If you feel your left hip bothering you or your left glute, engage your right glute and extend. Lift your right shoulder off the floor, off your ear, and bend. 2 more. Inhale. Extend for 4, 3. Lift your chest. 2, 1. Bend. Okay, last one. Inhale. Exhale. Take it behind you. Breathe and now pulse back for 8 and 7 and 6. Lift your chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Oh. All right. Get rid of the weights. Find your ankle band. Rest on the left side of your body. And now look at your feet. Align your feet or your heels with your glutes. Right fingertips on the floor. Now press the bottom hip to the floor. That's going to help you engage your glutes. And now bring your glutes forward. Muscle to bone, inhale. And now exhale, lift your right leg. Breathe in here. Frontal ribs doing a little crunch. Your glutes are coming forward. Your bottom hip is pressing. And the outer blade of your foot is pressing. Keep breathing here. Lift your right arm up. Plug it in. Lift your bottom leg up. Keep breathing. Glutes active. Don't let your low back. Use your glutes, your lower glutes. Lift your chest for 4. Breathe 3. Breathe 2. Now lift your head. Oh, keep breathing. Engage your lower glutes. Press your bottom hip. Rest. Bring your bottom leg forward a little. Inhale, fingertips on the floor. Fire up those lower glutes. Press your bottom hip down. Inhale. Now you're using your big glute muscle, your maximus, So keep your hips where they are. Just the big glute is taking the leg extension. Keep breathing. Close your eyes. You're moving from the bone. Do not let your arms help you. Keep pushing from your bone to your band. From your bone to your band. Feel those muscles. Engage your lower glutes. Keep breathing here. Now pause for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Come back in and bend your knees. Oh my goodness. Stick your tushy in and out. Okay, now watch me for a second. I'm gonna come to my forearm. You're gonna distribute the weight through your forearm, but core, glutes, shoulders, inner thighs, everything is working as one unit, okay? You have your ball. Just watch for a second. I'm gonna lift my hips. Glutes come forward. If you keep your glutes out, you're doing a pelvic tilt, your low back is gonna do it. Now bring your glutes in, and now your chest comes up. Now we pull that band. And then you start to cry. And you cry with tears of joy. Lift that bottom hip. And then you lift your arm. After that, there is a recovery. There it is. So we work in both glutes in a different way, all right? I am winded. That's not easy, but it's so important for spinal health, okay? So here we are. You're on your forearm. Don't be sloppy, shoulder away from your ear. Press your wrist, press your elbows region. Core, ribs, pelvic floor in and up, inhale. Exhale, lift your hips, step 1, glutes forward. Bring your chest up, push that leg. Bottom hip is working, lift that bottom hip up, lift your ball. Gaze forward so you don't strain your neck. Lift that bottom hip off the floor for 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your hips down, take the ball over your head, gaze over the left elbow. Lift your left ribs off the floor. Inhale, last one. Press the floor evenly. This is a teamwork. Every part in your body working. Flex your feet, lift your hips. Glutes forward, chest up. Pull the band. Pull the ball. Lift your hips a little higher. Lift that bottom hip up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release it. Take a little rest with your ball. Gaze over the left elbow. Slowly come up. Rest on the ball with your head. Slide your left arm. Bend your right leg behind you. Now slide your heel under the band, the left heel. Your right glute is active. It has to stabilize you. Look at your left leg. Fire up those inner thighs. And I imagine you adding a little sandbag in there. If you want a little more, take your weights towards the inner thigh. Quad muscles are active. Inhale. Lift and hold. Lower halfway. From the bone, lift and lift. Relax the shoulders. Lower. Squeeze and hold. Lower. Squeeze and hold. Pause for 3. Oh, 2. Oh my goodness. 1. Lower. Glutes active. Lift and hold. Pause for 3. Breathe 2. 1. Lower. 1 more. Inhale. Lift and hold. Pause for 3. And 2. And 1. Lower down halfway. Hold it here. Pause for 8. Little one. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Release it and rest. Okay. Oh, that was a lot. Okay, let's take it to the other side. Take the band over your ankles. Rest on your right arm. Look at your feet. Align your heels with your sit bones. Fingertips on the floor. Press your bottom hip down and your bottom outer blade. Flex your feet. Bring your glutes in. Now pull the band. From the bone, imagine your bones are reaching to the band. Lift your palm. Pull that band. Use your muscles. Lift your bottom leg. Ooh. Lift your head, gaze forward. Squeeze those glutes. Glutes up forward. Engage your lower glutes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a little rest. Take your right leg forward. Lift your chest up. Fingertips on the floor. Keep your hips steady. You're using your glute maximus here, the back big glutes. Inhale, fire up those lower glutes and press your bottom hip. Now kick it back from the bone. Fire up those low glutes, nothing in your low back. Keep breathing. Breathe here. Use those glutes. And now as we pause here, those fibers are marinating and becoming more robust towards the deep layers, closer to your bones. Now pause it for 5 and hold. 4, 3, fire up those lower glutes. 2, 1, hold here for 3, 2, 1, slowly release and take a little rest. Inhale. Cup to your forearms. We did it a little different, but that's okay. Find your ball. Bring your glutes in, inhale, shoulder away from your ear, press everything evenly. Lift your hips off the floor. Move your leg. Gaze forward. Lift your arm. Lift your bottom hip off the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, ball over your head, gaze to the right elbow. Inhale, last one. Shoulders away from your ear, bring your glutes in. Inhale, lift your hips. Squeeze those glutes in like you have a block between your thighs. Chest up. Lift your leg. Lift your bottom hip. Gaze forward. Lift your ball. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it. Take the ball, gaze to the right. Draw the hips towards your feet. Bring your ribs towards the crown of your head. Awesome. Take the ball under your head. Bend your top leg behind you. Take the band under your heel, the right leg. The left glute is activating you. Or find your weights is a good option. Right in front of your thighs. You press the shoulders down, engage your inner thighs, quad muscles, and now lift and lower with control. Squeeze and hold. Left glute active, lower. Lift and hold. Pause for 3, 2, 1. Lower. Lift your leg high. Lift and hold. Use your muscles. Pause for 3, 2, 1. Lower. Don't let that left glute get loosey-goosey. Lift and hold. 3, 2, 1. Lower halfway. Hold it here, muscle to bone. Breathe. Pause for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold it here. Close your eyes. Muscle to bone, hold it there. Every part in your body is active. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. All right, get rid of all those nasty toys. All right. Let's take the Pilates ball over the left side. We're going to stretch out the little waistline area. Always move cautiously with respect so you don't poke anything. So you're going to take the ball right above your glute, the outer glute, okay? Hook it in and then lift your arms and lift your ribs. Keep traveling up and over. Now scoot your hips down a little bit. You can keep your knees bent, and then you can also take both arms over your head. You can extend your top leg. And now dome your body over the ball. We've done beautiful work. You worked hard today. And now allow your body to recharge, to calm down. And it goes in stages. You notice what your body feels, and then you slowly backing off. You're slowly settling down without you having to do the work, but your body does its work with gravity and your breath. Now visualize the ball is a ball of light radiating all the way to your spine. And you want to press that ball, put a little stamp, like as if you took your index and your thumb together and you press them together, okay? Like a sponge, not like 100, but it's gradual. Now, I didn't say that, but if you can grab your tennis ball, okay, and I put it outside of right above the knee on the outer edge of your leg. Sink into your ball. You can also bend both knees to put more pressure on the ball. Now visualize your Pilates ball is traveling all the way to your spine. Once in a while, you're going to do a pelvic tilt. You're going to stick your tushy in and out. Okay, now grab your tennis ball for one moment. You're going to shift your hips back a little. So now the ball goes right in front of your hip. Okay, bend your right leg. And then you're going to set that ball. You might have to move the Pilates ball in a little. It's below your ribs. It's right around the psoas, where the bony part of your hip is, towards the inside. And then take your tennis ball in front of your left thigh somewhere. You can make a pillow with your hands. You can rest your left foot on the floor. You can tuck your left toes under. You can do whatever feels good for you. But over time, you're going to surrender into the Pilates ball and dome your body around it. Feel free to bend and straighten your left leg, just to get a sensation, and then you're just going to relax into the stretch. You can also stick your left glutes in and out to break into those fibers. And once your tissue is hydrated, you don't have to do a lot of movement. All you have to do is breathe. And when that tissue relaxed, you start to move a little and maybe find a different spot. Excellent. And now take the Pilates ball right over your sternum. Okay, move your breast out of the way, and you're just breathing in. You can take the little ball out of your way. Bring your feet back, and now one palm over the other, and then just roll side to side, massaging the attachment between your sternum and your ribs. And then roll your chest to the right and to the left. And your glutes are slightly active. Crush the ball. And then start to move slow. Maybe you find the spot that needs attention. Scrape into it. All right. Slowly come up. And we turn the other way. Make sure you have your Pilates ball close by you. We're going to the right side, right towards the outer glute. Lift your arms and lift your ribs. Up, up, up. Travel up and over. Make sure no surprises. Take a moment here. You still have your tennis ball, but don't put it yet. Let's settle into the Pilates ball. And you may notice that one side immediately feels different. Breathe into that. And dome your body around the ball. And visualize you pressing your body against the ball as if the ball is sinking to your spine. Scoot your hips down. Once in a while, you can do a pelvic tilt, sticking your glutes in and out. And every time you're breathing, you poke the ball. Okay, now you can take the tennis ball under your right leg, above the knee. If one leg is more than enough, stay, and over time, maybe the top knee can bend on top of the bottom leg. Notice how your body may freeze. Change that. Constantly trying to open your gates in your body to flow the energy. And when you catch yourself tensing up, notice why. Where is it coming from? Okay, now take the tennis ball out of there. Take your right leg way behind you, bend your top leg, and now bring the ball, the Pilates ball, in a little towards the body part and your inner belly, towards your navel. Now take the tennis ball in front of your right thigh. Make a pillow with your hands or maybe just forehead on the floor. And I crash into the ball, sink into the Pilates ball. Make sure you're not on your ribs. Every time you're breathing, you crash your Pilates ball. And you may bend and straighten your right knee to activate a little. Breathe and crash the ball with your breath. Slowly release it. Oh my goodness, okay. Lay on your back and take the Pilates ball under your sacrum. Tennis ball in your hand. And then sway your hips side to side. Now take your tennis ball right above the right side of your trapezius. Okay, closer to your spine and to your cervical spine. You'll find the spot. Take your left hand behind your head. Okay, and now you can bend your right elbow as if you have a platter in your hand. Ooh, and then you're doing little circles. Crash the ball, crash the ball. You can also just do little lifts with your elbow towards the crown of your head and towards the ribs or towards your hips a little. Put the weight on your tennis ball. Make it your own, circles, whatever works best for you. And connect that to your low back and to your hips. You might feel a little pull. Wiggle your hips a little because that helps you to release. You might roll up with your torso to go down towards your shoulder blade a little bit. Just find different areas. It really helps a lot to do little hula hoop on the Pilates ball. That helps you to connect the dots, the hips and the shoulders and the lumbar. Good. And I take it up and over to the other side. Find the right spot for you, right hand behind your head. You might just sway your hips for a moment. Bend your left elbow, find your little platter, little circles, or you're going up and down. Visualize a straight, energetic line, like a pillar of light, going all the way down your spine, to your hips as well. Try to create an energetic line that get rid of any kinks. And when you feel a little tension or pressure, wiggle your hips. You can sway your hips to the right and left. That's going to help you to move the tennis ball to different areas. And release the tennis ball. Now, scoot your hips down so the ball is on the Pilates ball on your low back. Open your feet wide and now massage the right and left side. We're connecting what we did with the waistline before. Now we're connecting those little areas, the QL muscles, right and left, resetting your lumbar. You can even scoot your hips down a little more and you're going towards your mid back, towards the origin of your psoas. And then slowly come up again, take the ball to your sacrum. Take the tennis ball between your hands, interlace your hands, and I do little circles with it. You can also, just as if you have a pizza ball, pizza dough circle, and now you just can circle around the ball. Okay, you can free your fingers, do whatever works for you. We're just hydrating your hands. You can go towards your fingers and all those knuckles. And then interlace your hands and just roll the ball. And then roll over the Pilates ball. I just release my spine doing this, believe it or not. So the more hydrated your tissue, it goes like lots faster. Your whole body starts to open up like a very open corridor. Good. And slowly roll over the ball. Notice how your back body feels, should feel amazing. You may feel like your legs want to stretch out because you have that energy flowing through you. And you might also notice that your breath is longer with no effort. Close your eyes. Maybe you feel the vibrations, your blood flow, your fluids through the body. Last thing, take the Pilates at the tennis ball to your right or left hand, right above your right eyebrow, and do little circles around it. And then you might go to the temporalis, right to the opposite end of the eyebrow. Do little circles. And as you do the circle, finish up with a little lift of that tissue towards the hairline. And in between your eyebrows, just press the ball, the third eye, and lift it up towards your hairline. Lift that tissue up. And then do the same with the left side. Notice which side is more evident. And this also, in a weird way, may help you to release your neck. I feel the residue going into my neck. So there's always a connection somewhere. And you might start to feel like you're talking funny because you're releasing also some sinus pressure points here. Slowly release it. Roll over to the side. Take a moment here, setting a little bit of gratitude for being here, and truly more than ever, because we're facing this terrible hurricane. We often forget the little things, the water, the electricity, our homes, the comfort of our homes, our people in our circles. So let's not wait for the bad things to happen to appreciate, but let's try to remember every time to appreciate the little things. Slowly come up to a seat. Bring your hands together to your heart center. And I personally believe in the prayer of intention. You know, when we set an intention and we hope for good things, somehow the universe listens and opens its gates towards us. So let us pray for safety. Let us hope that this hurricane will redirect itself to a different place, maybe to the water, to the ocean. That would be the best. We will touch base on Sunday, hopefully. Have a wonderful day. Be safe. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Orly.
All right, honey. Bye-bye.